record directly. Thank you very much. All right. So once again, like I said, I welcome you all to the second edition of the Purpose Discovery Program, and we are talking about discovering purpose. What are the steps to discover purpose? Number one step is that you need to read book on the subject of purpose. That's important. And when you're reading the book, you read the book meditatively, you read the book intentionally, because you are in the quest to discover a very important thing that you need to have in life. So that's the number one step. You know, the number one step is you read books on the subject of purpose. Very important, very illustrative, and very distinct. So you need to move on from there and ask yourself some very important questions and say, okay, in this area of purpose, what are those books? What are the leading authors on this subject? Miles Monroe is a very important, a legendary expert in the subject of purpose. And one of the books have been shared with us in week 1, Understanding Purpose, where we read the book, where we're given the book in Pursuit of Purpose, Miles Monroe, for us to read. I'd like Joanne to resend that book to the WhatsApp group so that everybody can have a feel of what that book is all about. Then if you have not joined the WhatsApp group, please go ahead to do that. So like we said, the first thing we need to tell ourselves is that we need to go after knowledge. That is the first part. In your quest to discover and in purpose discovery, you need to go after knowledge. Read books on the subject of purpose. Now, in reading books also, you might also want to watch videos and listen to tapes. Miles Monroe has a large, vast array of collection of videos on YouTube. I mean, volumes of books and videos on YouTube, that he shared his thoughts, and he did some deep insight on that particular topic of purpose. So you and I have a responsibility, and the responsibility we have is that we go head on to be able to understand that on this journey of purpose, we need to be able to get materials, get books that we can archive. Then when you watch a video that speaks to purpose, you also want to be able to bookmark that video or save to your library or save to your playlist so that you can always watch that video later. So that's very important. Read books on the subject of purpose, then also watch videos in that light as well. That's very, very, very clinical as well. Now, having said that, the next thing on the second step is you need to ask sincere, soul-searching questions about what you really love to do, your giftings, your talents, and potentials, and the things that you can do easily. That is another step to purpose discovery. Now, the first step is that you're searching out, you're reading. But the second step is you have a meeting with yourself. That means you take yourself to a lonely, quiet place and you ask yourself sincere and soul-searching questions. Very sincere, very soul-searching questions. About what are those questions? What do I really love to do? Thank you. Paul, if you can mute your mic, that would be very fine so that we can have a clarity on this side. Thank you very much. If you can mute. All right, Paul. Thank you very much for compliance. Apologies for that slight distraction. Yes. So as I was saying, you need to take yourself to a lonely place and ask yourself some very sincere, soul-searching questions. Now, what are those soul-searching questions? Number one question is, what do I really love to do? That's important. What do I really love to do? What am I passionate about? Now, these are all questions that are pointed to purpose. Now, you ask yourself, what are my talents? I told you, the second step is you take yourself to a lonely place and ask sincere, soul-searching questions. Now, when you begin to ask those kind of deep questions that dig deep into your person, in trying to unravel your deepest identities, these are questions, purpose, pointer of, pointer to purpose questions. That's very important. Now, questions is, what do I really love to do? These are example of soul searching questions. What am I passionate about? If I have all the money in the whole world, what do I still love to do? That's very important. Gives you clarity, it gives you understanding, it gives you direction, gives you dimension, gives you some idea of the deepest desires of your heart. Another question you want to ask yourself is, what are my giftings? What skills comes handy, ready to, what skills come handy, what skills come readily to me? That's another pointer questions you need to ask yourself as well. Then another question is, what are my potentials? What are those things that are there that I need to, refine properly? What are those, what are my talents? What are those things I can convert to treasures? These are fundamental purpose questions, pointers of purpose questions that we all need to ask ourselves in our quest to discover purpose. Step number 2, I said, ask yourself soul-searching questions. Example of such questions is, what am I passionate about? What do I really, really love to do? If I have every resources at my disposal, I'm not constrained by money, what do I want to do? I'm not constrained by time, what do I really want to do? That's important. They're asking yourself, what are my potentials? What are my value systems? What are my talents? What are my giftings? Now, all these very important questions gives you a lot of clear indication. I call them, pointer or purpose questions. Questions that can point you to purpose. And they are very important. You take deliberate steps to answering those very exciting and very important questions. Now let's proceed. So the first thing, like I said earlier, is, you read books on the subject of purpose. You watch videos in that line of thoughts. Then also you ask yourself very sincere and soul-searching questions. And example of such questions would be, what are my potentials? What are my talents? What are my giftings? What do I really love to do? What are those things that comes easy to me? Those things that I can do easily. Those are very important questions. The number 3 step is, you need to take notes on the answers you provide. It could be a strong pointer to purpose. That's number 3. So number 2 is, you ask yourself sincere questions. Number 3 is, you note down the answers that you provide sincerely. So you're meeting with yourself. It's a sincere meeting with yourself in a quiet and serene environment where you can reflect and think very deep. And you pose those very purpose questions to yourself. And you now begin to itemize the answers clearly somewhere, because those answers could be what we'll call pointers to purpose. So you take notes on the answers that you provide, because it could be a strong indicator, a strong pointer to purpose. Number 4, steps to discovering purpose: turning your hearts to healing. A lot of people have found purpose doing this. Now, the things that have come to you as setbacks, the things that have come to you as challenges in life, the things that have come to you as, things you struggled with, and you were now able to overcome them. You now turn those hurts You are able to package, something, as a healing therapy for others. By so doing, people derive and find purpose in that regard. There's this notable Nigerian. He talks about healthy and healthy living, how you can reverse natural remedies through, health, uh, uh, um, um, uh, uh, how you can reverse natural, how you can reverse diseases, rather, terminal diseases, by natural remedies without having to use, medication. Now, what happened to this man was that at some point in his life, he was diagnosed with 22 terminal diseases. It was rejected by hospitals. You get, his name is Tony Akinyemi. You can check him out. It was rejected by various hospitals. And as such, he knew that medical line could not solve his problem. So he went on a research. So one by one, he started applying, various natural remedies. This is not herbal now, natural remedies. Eating the right food, taking the right juices, using the right supplements, all natural, all organic. And before you know it, these particular ailments began to disappear one after the other until he became properly healed. Today, he has tons of video on YouTube on how to reverse diabetes, how to reverse hypertension, how to reverse high blood pressure using natural remedies, organic procedures. How has he done that? He used the challenges of his past to be able to provide healing for others. And before you know, he derived joy, satisfaction, and fulfillment in the inside. And as such, he was able to discover his purpose. So although he's a minister of God, and deep inside his ministry is how to help people to attain health and vitality. That's how people turn. So, like I told us during the confab, that the day you find and connect to God, you discover that nothing wrong has happened to you in life. Why? Because even those things that you find as hurting, even those things that you find as challenging, you'll be able to curate a storyline when you properly connect the dots to inspire the people around you. Now, number 4 actually speaks a little bit about me as well. Turning your heart to healing for others. I told a couple of people how I wrote WIEC the first time. I failed. I wrote, GC. I failed very well. And it looked like as if the future was bleak. I was going nowhere. And I began studying. I began picking past questions together, trying to run things together. Things was tough. I saw my WIEC result. I cried. I did jam 4 times. I didn't pass. That was my story. Now, fast forward today, I now build solutions that help students to prepare extensively and excel in this examination. And I use my story to incentivize them. I use my story to inspire them. Now, these were hurting days for me at that point in time. But I've looked back today. I never saw it when I was doing those, when I was going through those days. But I look back today and now saw that, okay, sometimes the challenges and the hurting experiences we go through, they help us to pivot purpose for ourselves and also help to bring succor and respite for people that surrounds us. So turning our hearts to healing can also be another, step, to discovering purpose. So begin to ask yourself, what are those challenges that I currently encountered in the past? How did I overcome them? Could that be a story? Could that be, could that be something I could package for my generation? And a lot of people have used their hearts to be able to provide healing for others. And in doing that, they find satisfaction, they find fulfillment, and they have a sense of purpose while they're doing that. Then also, in your step for purpose discovery, number 5, you need to listen to what people say and appreciate about you. They also point us to purpose as well. When people say you have natural leadership instincts. When people say you have your organizational skills comes handy and readily to you. When people tell you, okay, you have a very good command of English. When people say, you write very, very well. When people begin to compliment, and not just one person, not just two people, but you get a group of people that appreciate some specific attribute or traits or qualities about your life, that could also be a pointer to purpose. I'm not talking about people that, no, I'm not talking about people because they like you and they are trying to tell you sweet words. No, not just that. Especially non-interest people, your teachers, your colleagues, people that you work with, and they see a pattern. They told you in secondary school, they told you about that in the university. Now that you're working, people tell about that. You do some things extremely better than others, and it comes to you very easily. It could be a very strong indicator to your long-term dreams, aspirations, and purpose fulfillment. So please take note. What do people say about you? You need to listen carefully to what people say and appreciate about you. Things that people struggle with, but comes readily and easily to you. Please take note. Then also, you need to also understand, like I said, if you listen to what people say and appreciate about you, it could be an indication of what you are called to do. Very important. Then also, tell your story and inspire people around you. That's important as well. It's purpose discovery. The story of the challenges, the story of your heart. So when I see young people today and I tell them how I failed in secondary school, it inspires hope. It tells them that if I can, if Koijo can do it, they also can do it. It inspires a lot of genuine, resolution to make it, resolve to make it. It pops a genuine desire. I tell them how my father, because I was Christian, he was Muslim, they don't sponsor my education. And I told God I wasn't going back to see him for any form of financial intervention in my life. And the next time he saw me was when I graduated from the university. How did that happen? Telling people how they can trust God for supernatural supplies in their life. And by so doing, it's giving us the direction, the leadership, leading that we need to have to inspire the people and the boys and the girls around us. Then number 7, most important, we need to speak to God in the place of prayer, waiting for specific answers in the ways he speaks to you. And that's also very important. In your steps to purpose discovery, one vital part is the place of talking to God and asking specific questions concerning what he wants, what he has called you to do, so that you can, certify and clarify what God has called you to do, what God has mandated for you to do, so that you can deliberately and intentionally, consistently work to purpose and see your purpose being fulfilled. So that's step number 7. Step number 7, like I just said earlier, is most important. You need to speak to God in the place of prayer. For those of you in the line of purpose discovery and you have a relationship with God, if you do not have, an intimate relationship with God, where God gives you direction in various areas of your life, then I want to urge you that you need to do such. You need to build such relationship. You need to have such relationship. You need to grow on that relationship. You need to make that relationship a priority. Now, purpose discovery in the place of prayer is very, very significant. Now, when you speak to God and God speaks to you, it validates a whole lot of information about you. Don't forget, the Bible says that before you were formed, God knew you. So your purpose was established even before you were born. The Bible says it declares the end from the beginning. He said, from the ancient times, the things that are not yet done. He said, my purpose shall stand and I will do all my pleasures. So God, in his wisdom, in his power, already knows what you were designed to do. The problems you're designed to solve, the industry you're designed to play. So it's an effective medium where we go to God in the place of prayer for clarity, for direction, for leading as regards the different, things, as regards the specific things rather that he has called us to do, so that we can stay in line, so that we can do it. So just to paraphrase our steps, what are the steps to purpose discovery as we just learned? Number one, we need to read books on the subject of purpose, and of course, watch videos as the case may be. Number two, we need to ask ourselves sincere, soul-searching questions. Questions like, what do I really love to do? What are my talents? What am I passionate about? What are my giftings? What are my potentials? What do I do easily? These are questions, very sincere questions that gives you a very directional focus on what you are lying to do with your life. Then number three is, when you ask those questions, you need to take note of that specific response that you get in those aspects. I told you last week that by consistent engagement with self and of God, and regular engagement with God, I've been able to find out that I exist to create solutions, to empower and inspire the next generation to excel. That's it. That's so every single thing I do, where I work, the books I read, the seminars I attend, all is aligned to my overall purpose, which is to create solutions that inspire and empower the next generation to excel. So, and my company is an expression of that purpose. The conferences I design are extension of that purpose, to inspire, to empower the next generation to excel. The softwares that I produced are aligned to that purpose. My long-term, vision are aligned to that purpose. So, having said that, that was number three. I said you need to note down that, take note on the answers that you provide. They could be what we call the strong purpose pointers. Then number four, turn your hearts to healing. Those, for others, those challenges of the past that have been mind-boggling, heart-wrenching, you can, see how you overcome them and see how to create, a methodology or a roadmap for others to be able to overcome them. By the time you are able to highlight a solution metric and distill it to one or two people, and they follow that pattern, and they're able to, overcome the challenges that you overcame, you will find fulfillment in insight that have been able to solve a problem for somebody. Before you know, you solve for one, you solve for two, you solve for 10, you solve for 20. That's how people become solutions providers. That's how people become, have deep thoughts. That's how people find fulfillment in life. That's how people go on to become very, very successful, because they're helping to provide solutions and solve problems for people. Then number five, like I said, listen to what people say about you. Genuinely say about you. I mean, they say it genuinely without any strings attached. Not the one that say, oh, your face is very fresh. Those things might have strings attached. But someone says, oh, you speak beautifully. Oh, you sing very well. I like the way you use your diction. Oh, you write. Oh, the last time I read, a piece from you, you did it very amazingly. Oh, I see that you have the gift of organizing things perfectly. That are very honest feedbacks. And this could also be an indication of what your calling is all about. Then number six, tell your story, inspire people around you. No matter how small. I met somebody on Sunday, and the young man was just talking to me about how he went from being a cleaner in one of the largest schools in Nigeria. He came in as a cleaner. From cleaner, he went to office assistant. Office assistant, he went to admin. As I speak to you right now, he's the deputy HR manager of that school. That is inspiring. A lot of young people. So what made you from SS, you finished SS class, you went on to become a cleaner. I mean, that means you had some challenges in your finances, but you were not deterred. That story is inspiring. And you can tell that story, you can inspire a lot of people, and a whole lot of amazing things can happen along the line. So with that said, we make progress. Then the seventh one, it's very important. The seventh step is most important of all. You need to speak to God in the place of prayer. for specific direction. The Bible says that my sheep hear my voice and they follow me. He said, "Oh Lord, thy word, oh God, is settled forever. Oh Lord, thy word is settled in heaven forever." The Bible says heaven and earth will pass away, but one jot or one tittle of God's word will not pass away without being fulfilled. Many a times, God gives us direction from his words, gives us clarity on what we need to do from his words. And that gives us a whole lot of, it gives us a whole lot of divine direction and divine guidance. So a further summary is read books on that, on steps to discover purpose. Read books on the subject of purpose. Now that's number one. Number two, ask yourself sincere and soul-searching questions. Number three, take notes on the answer that you provide. Number four, seek how to turn your hearts to healing. Number five, listen to what people genuinely say and appreciate about you. Number six, tell your story and inspire your people around you. Number seven, most importantly, speak to God in the place of prayer, asking specific directions concerning your calling, your purpose, and what he would have you to do. Finally, as we want to close this session, I want to talk to you about interesting facts about purpose. Interesting facts about purpose. Number one, you should understand that purpose, everyone has a purpose, and your purpose is preordained. You need to understand that everybody has a purpose. I said earlier, last week's study, if you look at the palm of your hands, every single fingerprint of your 10 fingers are unique. And so it's unique for all the 8 billion people in the world. Your retina, axis for every human being is unique. So God designed us to have very unique purpose, very distinct purposes, and we need to find out. Interesting fact of purpose, number two, purpose is not a destination, purpose is a journey. So meaning that you discover purpose, then what do? You begin to fulfill purpose. You begin to walk towards purpose fulfillment. You begin to walk towards purpose, establishment. You begin to walk towards purpose, delivery. That's so meaning that you are journeying in the area of fulfilling purpose. So you fulfill purpose, you solve a family problem, you move it to a community, you move it to a local government, you move it to a state, you move it to a nation, you move the continent, and you scale around the world. That is how you progress in your purpose journey. Then also, number three fact is your purpose should be aligned to God's ultimate will or purpose for mankind. It's important that your purpose should not be against God's plan. Some people's purpose are terrible, and it looks like they're getting away with it. But we understand that people can get rich in smart ways, but there's always judgment on the other side for people that break God's commandments. So for everybody on this call, you need to understand and align your long-term, purpose, your long-term vision in line with God's will and purpose for humanity. So you ask yourself, what is God's will? God's will is enshrined in his words. So everything that you build your purpose around, or that you receive your purpose in the execution and delivery of it, and the manifestation of it, must be properly aligned with God's will and God's purpose for mankind. Number four fact is when you discover purpose, everything begins to have meaning as you connect the various dots in your life. As you begin to find purpose, everything begins to have meaning as you connect the various dots around. Then number five, on the fact of purpose, when you discover purpose, it gives your life a clear sense of direction. There's no ambiguity. Big Brother Naija cannot deceive you. Social media cannot deceive you. You have clarity. when people are confused, when people are, distraught, when people are heartbroken, you already have some clarity on what you need to do per time, per second. I remember this story. When we finished NYC, I was excited to be done with NYC so that I can just, launch on in my purpose journey, launch on in the fulfillment that God has, in the fulfillment of the ideas that God has put in my mind's eyes, which already started before that time. So I was excited to just finish, POP and, exit NYC and start life proper. But do you know that some days before NYC, I visited one of the family houses and I could see some people in despair. They were like, in their faces were like, where will the next allowance come from? What am I going to be doing with my life? They could see, challenges ahead of them. So that's what happens when you find it. When you find your purpose on time, there's clarity on the next steps. There's clarity on the next direction. There's clarity on what to do. And when you find your purpose, you're not moved by money. You're not looking for the next big thing that will make money. People are jumping to crypto. You jump to crypto. People are jumping to coding. You are jumping to coding. That is a description of a life without direction, a life without purpose. Yesterday it was crypto. Today it is coding. Tomorrow it is forex. Next tomorrow it is entrepreneurship. They don't have clarity. But you need to stay where you are and keep building and keep having an empire in that purpose. Now, another thing is, yes, the sixth part you get, as kingdom people, we need to regularly engage heaven in the fulfillment of purpose. Now, there's understanding purpose, there's discovering purpose, and there's fulfilling purpose. Our next engagement on the 1st of October, we'll have a physical meeting. Now, where's the venue of the physical meeting? The same venue of the Confab, the same venue. Those of you, I see that a good number of you here were all part of the Confab, virtually all of us here. So that same venue, 19 Dwelogunaike Street, that's where we're going to be having the next edition of the Purpose Discovery Program. It's a physical event, and we're going to be talking about fulfilling purpose, how to build an empire in your purpose. You cannot afford to miss it. We all have to be there in that journey. Now, let's continue. Another important fact is your purpose determines your company, and your purpose is exclusive to you. So take all these things to heart, understand that, you can discover purpose. A lot of people have done that, and they've gone on to live a fulfilled life. You also can do that. So that at 60, people are not telling stories about what I did not do wrong and what they did not do wrong and all that. But at every point in time, you're in charge. You get. I have a chairman today, very, very successful man, and amazing. He is a founder of Phillips Consulting. His name is Felicia Phillips, and he's doing great things. And he became our chairman last year. So I went to see him in his house earlier this year, and I was like, oh, sir, apart from Chronicles, how many boards are you on? You get. And when he was counting, so aside Chronicles, he sits on 17 boards. Some as board of directors, some as chairman of the board. That's capacity. That's capacity. And the next time I went to visit him, he said, I want to just tell you that the Central Bank of Nigeria has just appointed me as the chairman of Standard Chartered Bank. That's one of the top 24 banks in this country. So what am I saying? We need to look at how to build an empire in our purpose. He doesn't go to work every day. He's built his business for the past, 25 years. And he has appointed a system that runs without him. Every time he has never given me an appointment in his office. Every time I go to see him, he's in his house. His house in Banana Island. By his house, you see Adenuga's house. He's friends with Aliko Dangote and the likes. So we'll come back next week, and that's 1st of October, fulfilling purpose. But we have assignments. Assignment number 2. If you have not done assignment number 1, you need to do it. Very important. It's a purpose journey. Assignment number 1, you already know that. That's 3 purpose questions. In our study today, we looked at steps to discover purpose. You get. Number 2 says, ask yourself sincere soul-searching questions. Now, my assignment is provide answers to your sincere soul-searching questions. That is the assignment. That's the assignment. I'm typing it out. Provide answers to your sincere soul searching questions. Now, what are those questions? Number 1, what do I really love? Number 2, what am I passionate about? Number 3, what are my giftings, potentials, and talents? Number 4, what comes to me easily? What comes to me easily as what do I do easily that others struggle with? What do I easily get done that others struggle with? So all right. Thank you very much for capturing it very well. So provide answers. That's number 1. Then number 2 is, what do people what do people genuinely say and appreciate about you? That's number 2 assignment. Number 3, complete read the book In Pursuit of Purpose from chapter 4 to the end. and summarize. All emails, all sent by email in an MS Word attachment to connect at the confabs.org and Oluwakoyejo at chroniclesoft.com. All right. So can we get going? We have our assignment set for our week 2 project and assignment is set. So please, if you have written down your assignment, please just say, yes, I have. Yes, I have. Thank you. Olamilekon says, can I get last week's assignment? Please check the WhatsApp group. Are you in the WhatsApp group? Olamilekon, are you in the WhatsApp group? Oh, you're not in the WhatsApp group. Oh, sorry. Okay, David is a yes, I have. Please, if you have taken note of the questions that have been, with 2 assignments, can you just document yes, I have? I see Infinix Smart, yes, I have. Eze David, yes, I have. Omo Yele, yes, I have. Abigail. Naomi Femi, yes, I have. John Odule, yes, I have. Orokale, Fumilola, great to see you again. Yes, I have. Okay, Olamilekon, yes, I have. Nathan, yes, I have. Oh, Basi Effiong, yes. Basi Effiong, thank you. Yes, I have. Yes, Basi Effiong, yes, I have. Yes, please, can you just notify me, yes, I have, that I have seen the assignment? Then, okay, so all right. Okay, I see that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Our week 2 assignment has been placed on the WhatsApp group. Yes, Jerry, thank you so much for that prompt response on that. So the book has been resent. Olamilekon wants to know assignment 1. Please, can we send the link of the WhatsApp group so that he can join? But assignment 1, Jerry, please, can you paste assignment 1 for him to see what assignment 1 is? Or you need to watch the video of week 1 for you to be able to honestly answer assignment 1. Okay, thank you. But if we can put the link, of the WhatsApp group, you can paste it here. That's the joining link. Okay, assignment 1 has been posted. Olamilekon, please take note of assignment 1. Please, the WhatsApp group link, we are going to question and answers now. So can we have the WhatsApp group link? Please take note that next meeting is physical. And a lot of you don't know that my office is also on that venue of the Confab. So it's going to hold in my office, same venue as the Confab, on that walkway that leads to the hall. There's an office by your left-hand side. That's where the meeting is going to hold. Next meeting is physical, 1st of October. Okay, so thank you very much, everybody. It's time for question and answers. Let's do this quickly. We've spent about 45 minutes in the study. We did the assignment for the last 5 minutes. So let's take questions and answer. If you have a question, can you raise up your hand? And I'll call your name so you can unmute your mic and ask your question. Thank you. If you have a question, please, can we see you raise up your hands? If you have a question, okay. Oroka left, Formulola 1. Who else has a question? Who else has a question so that I'll ask you to ask your question after? Yes. Yes, I see on that hand there. We have 2 questions now. Okay, Eze David. All right. Okay. Fumilola, can you ask your questions? Your question.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning.
Yes, sir. And good morning to the house. Sorry for joining in late. My question is, from this purpose discovery, I want to ask that, is purpose discovery a continuous journey, or is it that the total purpose must be discovered before the journey begins?
All right, that's a
Because
very good question. Yes, can
in
I
the course of reading, the writer said, as you discover who you are. So I was not saying, as you discover who you are, does it now mean that it is when I have fully discovered, that's when I should start, or I will keep discovering as I go along the journey? Thank you.
Thank you. So now, like I said in my study today, I said purpose discovery is not a destination, but is a journey. So as you discover, you know, in the journey of purpose discovery, they tell us that the human mind, the human brain, and the cells and the capacity in the human brain, that in a lifetime, that the best of the best geniuses in this world, they do not use up to 10% of their mental capability. That's to tell you how robust the human being is. So, and men are in stages, and life is in stages, and men are in sizes. So what am I saying is, you discover purpose, and based on your understanding of that purpose for that time, you begin to execute in that line. Now, as you execute in that direction, the next level is unveiled to you as you go on. So the original purpose does not necessarily change, but the dimension to the execution of that purpose can begin to stretch and expand. So that's why we talked about understanding purpose discovering purpose, and fulfilling purpose. That's next week. So your fundamental purpose is your core. Why do I exist? So you know it. But why do I exist? You need to start fulfilling it. Your scope of why do I exist could just be in a locality today. Before you know it, it's in a nation tomorrow. So the dynamics at which you execute that your purpose for a community will be different from how you execute that purpose to deliver value for a nation. So that's why it's a discovery purpose, it's a discovery journey. And as you discover, you're executing in that line, and more dimensions are being unveiled to you. But your original purpose is your core. And many a times the core does not change, but the dimensions of execution, the dimensions of delivery, the dimension of stretch is what might change. Then as you acquire new knowledge, as you deepen your knowledge in the area of your gifting and assignment, you now gives more ideas to the purpose that you carry. Before, 10 years ago, I thought all I wanted to do was also build a company. It was later I discovered that the company was just an extension of the purpose. The purpose is create solutions that empower and inspire the next generation to excel. The company is just an extension of that. Confab, another extension of that. Now we are building the Oluwakoijo Foundation. We'll start registering the foundation, and it's going to be ready before the end of the year. It's another extension of that, of that purpose. And I have a kingdom portfolio management service, another extension of that purpose. So do you understand for me? So as you discover yourself, don't forget that personal discovery, purpose discovery, they are similar, but alike. When you discover your purpose, and it now gives you an understanding of what you are called to do, your assignments in your purpose, your gifting, all those things are aligned to help you fulfill that purpose. But the dimensions of the execution of that purpose begin to, expand as you go on. So for me, I'm sure you are clear with that understanding.
Okay, thank you. At least I get at least I'm clear.
Yeah, okay. I'm sure that you might have some other things to say. You can private chat me. I'm sure you have my number. Do you?
Yeah, I do. Yes,
Fantastic.
I do, sir.
Fantastic. So private chat me for clarity on other aspects in line with what you just said. Yes, Eze.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir, once again.
Yeah, good morning, Eze.
Yes. Actually, my question is straight and direct. If one is multi-talented, that is multi-skilled, having talents like can speak, can teach, good in music, good in like various things up to like 7, how do he or she streamline all this to his purpose?
All right, thank you very much. You're not the first person, and you'll not be the last by God's grace. I had that question for the first time about 15 years ago when one of my students came to ask me that question. And so, number one, your giftings, they are not automatically your purpose. They are what will give your purpose expression. Hello? They are what will help you fulfill that purpose. So the question you just asked is very important. How you're not to streamline. How do I ensure I can maximize? I think maximize is the word. How do I maximize all these skill sets, all these talents to fulfill my purpose? As you go on in line, my pastor, he plays the organ very well. He sings very well. But he understands that his core is to teach. So in all of these 7, you find that there's something that stands out, that you can do better than everybody easily. Then also, sometimes it could be the combination of these 7 that gives you an outstanding, capability. For instance, when I was growing up, when I meet my cousins that schooled abroad and they hear me speak, they say, Kwejo, oh, I like the way you speak. And I schooled here in Nigeria, sometimes in the public school. And these were people that schooled abroad in the best universities, top 20 universities in the world and all that. And I like the way you speak. And that was an honest feedback. They were not trying to deceive me for nothing. Why should they deceive me? Now, but I thought within myself as I went on that to just build my life speaking doesn't add value. So I added, in-depth creativity to it. I did computer science, and there's one thing that comes natural to me was your capability to creatively design solutions. And creatively design a solution, build the solution, and talk about the solution. I was now expressing all my talent together. So how do I maximize all these, my 7 potentials, to give expression to my purpose? That is what you should be looking at, not streamlining. How do I look for, okay, which is my biggest of them? It's when I now began to go on that, I now found that, talking was even what I thought was ability to communicate that I thought was one of the strongest of my potentials before. It's not. It's my creative mind. My creative mind now became one of my strongest tools. Because when you unleash your creative mind, you create a solution, boom, you now talk about the solution. Now it's the talking part that people see, but the creative mind, the ingenious capability, that is where the bulk of the talent lies. But communication is important, and don't forget that for people that know me, I was born a stammerer, so it's not as if this one I was born to speak like this. No, it was part of the message of God upon my life that God helps us to begin to eloquently speak this way. So going forward, how do I maximize my multi-talented capabilities to be able to give my purpose and expression? So don't forget that you need to find in all of this your talent, in all of this your gift. Now ask yourself prayerfully. So let me go back to the last line. Now, in a state of confusion of where to be able to build capability, strong capability on, then you now need to connect to heaven, to ask God for clarity. Oh God, what do you have me to do? I can sing, I can play the organ, I can write. Where is that place that you're calling me to? And it begins to tell you per time, okay, go this way, do this, and begin to execute, begin to fulfill purpose. Yes. David, are we good here?
Thank you very much, sir.
God bless you. Once again, thank you everybody for coming on board. And please put your questions on the chat as we go on. We'll be providing answers to them. I just said week 3 is fulfilling purpose, building an empire in your purpose. Let's talk to ourselves. Let's take this to the next level. Please, we were 17 on the call today. We dropped 2 from last week, but please next week, let's have a full house together at the venue. Thank you very much. Let's have a word of prayer before we go. Jerry, please, can you pray for us as we round up? Is Jerry still on this call?
Okay.
Yes, please. Jerry, please.
All right. Let's pray together. Father, thank you for this very wonderful session with 2 that we've had today. Thank you for the insights you've given unto us into discovering our purpose. Thank you for the things that we are hearing, the things we are seeing, and the things we are learning. We receive grace today to do all that is being taught us so that we can get the best as it is being taught us in the name of Jesus. Thank you for the participants, every one of them who have been on this call from start to finish, and those who joined. Thank you for the convener, for the wisdom of God, his grace and insights he's given unto us to help us gain clarity into the things we ought to do as touching our purpose. We ask and pray that Lord will make it count, not just for ourselves, but for our generation in the name of Jesus. Amen. We ask and pray that as we prepare for the next time, the next meeting, October 1st, we will all be in health and in wealth in the name of Jesus. Amen. And our assignments we have been given for week 1, week 2, as we do them, you open our eyes to the things that we must do. Let your name be glorified. In Jesus' mighty name we pray.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen and amen. So, guys, I would thank you, Jerry, for sending link to the WhatsApp group. Please, if you're not in the WhatsApp group, click on that link so that you can join the WhatsApp group. Then also, I want to say that your assignment, people ask, when is our delivery date? When is the timeline for it? Please, we need our assignment to come in on or before the 28th of September so that we can review that. But please, those important, sincere questions, do those ones first. 28th of September is because of the book that we are reading so that we can have a holistic time. Once again, thank you very much. Have a wonderful weekend. Unmute your mic and say hello to somebody. God bless you and have a wonderful day. Thank you. Unmute your mic and say yes. We're going to, we recorded the video. We're going to upload it to YouTube. Then please, Jerry, ensure that week one video goes to our YouTube channel as well. Thank you very much. Unmute your mic and say hello to somebody and wish somebody well. Thank you for coming.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good
Hello,
morning.
good morning.
Good morning, Eze David.
Good morning,
Hello,
sir.
Thank you
good
for
morning,
coming,
Thanks for the
sir.
class.
Bola.
Thank you for today.
Thank you for coming, Ayodele Paul. Thank you for coming, Jerry.
Hello,
MM,
Joy. Good morning.
great to see you, MM. Iggy Kolade, Nathan. Thank you very much. John Oduleye. Yes, good to have you. And
Good morning,
Abigail.
everyone.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so
Good
much.
morning, everybody.
Yeah, great to have
Nice.
you here. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll be signing out here. Please take your assignments proper and let's go to work. Have a pleasant afternoon. God bless you all. Bye for now.
Amen. Thank you.